Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.
Hello and welcome to Aging Matters. This program is provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet and I'm the Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. Our show this evening is on BARDA Transportation Services, and my guest this evening is Vicki Weidner, who is the Director of Shared Ride Services. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited. I think we have a lot of good information that I think either gets misconstrued in our community or misinformation is communicated to each other, and so I think it's a great opportunity to be able to kind of distinguish some services that we have and some parameters around those services. So again, thank you, Vicki. I want to first, I guess, as we were talking earlier, we really want to make sure that people understand that it is Berks County and that transportation services through BARDA that we're actually going to talk about. So it's local.
Correct.
So we'll start there. And we're going to talk about two areas of ridership or transportation with BARDA. One being the regular BARDA buses that we see all over, that we're, see the signs for where they're going. So we have that. And then we have some of the other services that are kind of under the umbrella of shared ride services. So let's start right away with the one we all know probably or a lot more about because we see so many of the regular, I call them regular bus.
Or fixed route bus.
Fixed routes, okay. I know there's a better title. So it's a fixed route bus, meaning that obviously this is the route and it starts here with these stops and ends here. Is that,
Correct.
That simple, okay. So in riding that bus, let's talk about first, how do I know what are the different routes, I guess? Where could, if I have not ridden it before, or I have to start doing it, maybe I want to set a New Year's goal to not to drive so much by myself, and I want to maybe look into just riding that fixed route bus. How would I know where to go? What kind of maps or routes can I find and where?
You can actually go on our website at bardabus.com or by calling in the office. We have ride guides that are available at local stores in different locations throughout Berks County. Okay. And you can pick up one of the ride guides, but you're definitely on the website or calling into the office at 610-921-0605 is the phone number.
Okay, good.
And the dispatchers can assist you if you have any questions.
Okay. And I think there used to be some in like the senior centers that we had. There were some maps in the senior
Correct.
Community centers.
A lot of the stores have them, like Boscov's do. I see it at Redner's.
Okay.
And at our location down at the terminal at 7th and Franklin, we have them, and also at our office at 1700 North 11th Street.
And the terminal is, I call it the hub, is
Yes,
that right?
that's
okay,
where all
they kind of all
the
come
vehicles
in and
start
turn
from.
around.
Correct.
Okay. So in terms of riding the bus, certainly our program is geared for seniors. So what do we have for seniors?
We have for seniors the Senior Transit ID card. They can apply for that downtown at 7th and Franklin or at our office at 11th and Exeter Street. There is an application.
Okay.
They have to bring along ID, like a driver's license, the Pennsylvania State ID, birth certificate, baptism certificate. We must see proof of age. And then they just show that pass to the driver every time they ride, and that's good all day long, and they ride for free. And they have to be 65 and over.
So what is our senior age for the transportation? It's 65 years of age.
Correct.
And older.
Correct.
So the minute I turn 65, I can come there and get my free pass and bring my identification information. Is there an application? Did I miss that? Is there an application?
Yeah, there's an application. We just take the name and address, phone number, and date of birth. That program is funded by PennDOT, and they're requiring...
Oh, okay. All right. Good. So I can go there, get a transit ID, and then show that as often as I want to ride. Correct. So, I know that we have told people already in the summer when it's so hot, take a BARDA bus ride because it's air conditioned, right? and so I can get on here and off there.
Right.
Okay. Now, if I'm not 65 and get to ride free through that service, what is a normal bus fare these days cost?
It's $1.70 per trip.
Per trip one
Right,
way? Okay.
correct.
Oh, that's great. Now, I'm used to, as a kid, going on the bus with my mother, and we all had the coins that we put in that little area as you enter the bus. Is that the same?
That's still there.
Oh my, okay. So I have to have my $1.70 in
Yes,
loose
you should have
change.
should have the exact fare.
Okay, great. So $1.70 one way to ride that, but I can get on and off, get those maps. And we've got some passes for those 65 and older if they want to do that. And then there's something else that we were talking about, a monthly pass?
Yes, they can purchase a monthly pass, which is discounted.
Oh,
Also a 10-trip ticket, depending how often you ride the bus. You know, I don't figure out which one would be cost-wise for you.
More reasonable
Right.
based on what your activity is.
Correct.
Oh, that's great. So it's a 10-trip ticket, try and say that a couple of times, or a monthly pass if that might be beneficial rather than paying the $1.70.
And there's also an all-day pass. If you purchase it at the office, it's $3. If you purchase it on the vehicle, it's $4. That way you don't have to pay for transfers. Or if you're
Okay.
going to the mall and say after the mall you want to stop and visit someone,
Yeah.
you know, you can use it for that whole day for $3.
Oh, that's great. All right, super. Well, I think that's very reasonable. That rate of $1.70 even for one way is great. And then again, for those folks over 65, even better. So that's the basic regular route, fixed route bus transportation system that we all kind of see out in our community. The other is called kind of, I guess, under the umbrella of shared ride services.
Share
And
ride or
so-
special services.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that. Okay, so tell me about, how do you want to start with talking about the programs or services under that, or part of that, I guess?
Well, Share Ride is open to the general public, but it's more directed towards seniors and persons with disabilities that cannot ride the fixed route bus because the cost per trip is a lot higher.
And a person with a disability is any age?
Is it?
Adult?
Correct.
Is it any
Correct.
age? Is it like 18 and up, or
Any age.
Okay.
Any age.
Just wanted to clarify that. And so it is, so it's special, or, so tell me more about what services for those folks, both those with disabilities and then those that are focused on seniors.
The service is for any type of trip purpose. We'll take them shopping, to senior centers, visiting, school, shelter workshops. There's no limit on how many trips per day or for what type of trip you're going for.
So any purposes for the trip.
Correct.
So, because I'm used to some other things where people have other programs, and we'll get into that. So, if somebody, I know that there were some issues with regards to people wanting to meet others for a social, like a dinner, like a group of
Right.
them going. And I know that I was in a conversation with some individuals who were adults with disabilities who were looking to meet friends for, I don't remember, movie, dinner, both. So they can do that
Yes.
and contact Bartis. So I guess each one of these programs. So how do they clearly, you can't just say, hey, I would like to be going in
Right.
an hour. My friends are gathering.
No.
So what kind of time frame? What do I need to do?
First, you have to do an application. It is an application process. Everybody must complete an application, and here's where the fun part comes. We have 4 different applications, so it depends. Everything depends on the age of the consumer.
Okay.
So if they're over 65 years of age, they complete the Share Ride application. Again, they need to show the proper document to prove they're over 65. That's a requirement of PennDOT: driver's license, birth certificate, baptism certificate, the ID, state ID is one of them. It's listed on there.
Okay.
So that's for over 65. PennDOT will pay 85% of that trip cost. The senior
Okay, I'm
pays.
going to stop you there for a second. So, yeah, I got to absorb all this. So if I am a 65 or older.
Correct.
I could possibly I can complete an application and possibly qualify for the shared ride services with the PennDOT paying 85% of that cost.
Right.
And that, again, that ride is what we talked about, where I can go where I want to go.
Correct.
Okay, keep going, sorry.
And then
Recap on that
they pay 15%. The
rider.
passenger does.
Okay, okay. And how is that paid then? Like, how does that person, when I'm hopping on that bus?
Cash to the driver.
Cash to the driver?
And they have to
okay.
have exact fare.
Okay. And I would know what that is,
Yes,
obviously,
when
ahead of
the
time.
trip is booked, the staff will inform, on the phone what the cost per trip is.
And is that can I go from point A to B to C? Or is it just you're going one here and coming back?
No, you can go from A, B, C to D. There is no limit
Okay.
on how many trips per day.
And that would be, would that
That's all.
rate, would my portion, I know it would still be 50%, but because there's several, would that be a higher rate then?
It goes by mileage, so it
Oh,
all
okay,
depends on where
okay.
you're traveling.
Okay.
It is mileage starts at $2.15 and can go up to $7 each way for a
Okay.
senior
Okay.
over 65.
All righty. Okay. So that's the shared ride.
That's the senior share ride.
And did we cover everything under that I
Yes,
should know as a
we did.
Okay. All right, that's the senior share ride. And that's different. I'm because of working with the older adult population and talking about appointments and things, that's a little different than a medical appointment need. Is that correct?
No.
No. So
No,
it
it's
can
all-
be a medical appointment if I want to
Correct.
go there. It could be shopping.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Because we pick up at some of the high rises, we'll actually pick up 4 or 5 people and take them grocery shopping, or they go out for lunch for the day or for dinner.
Okay.
But they all have to be registered. They all have to do the application.
All righty. And what would be the time frame that I would need to give you if I intend to do that? You know,
We can-
what should I be considering if I'm booking my calendar?
The earlier the better, we always say, but we can book 2 weeks in advance or actually the day prior. If you wait the day prior, your chances are the schedules could end up getting full, and
Yeah.
the system's gonna, push that trip as close as they can to what time you requested.
Okay. All righty. Okay. I think I got it. So that's the senior share ride.
Correct.
What's our second?
Then we also have the ADA application. That's the Americans with Disability. That's for anybody under 65 who has a disability that cannot ride the regular fixed route bus. So they get a discounted fare. We can
Okay.
only charge them double what the bus fare is, so that's $3.40. But in order to qualify for that, the trip must be eligible also under ADA.
Oh, so, I
So
can't
what that
necessarily
means,
go anywhere.
your
Okay.
destination must be within 3/4 of a mile of the fixed route bus, and also where we're picking you up at. So for instance, if you live in Boyertown,
Mm-hmm.
you would not qualify for the ADA because there is no bus route down in Boyertown.
Oh, okay.
It would not be a qualified ADA trip.
So I get it. So there has to at least be some
Right.
kind of regular fixed route in that area, which means
Correct.
that is serving that
Right,
area.
because
it's not that I'm taking it.
We're
It's
there
just
to
that- okay.
replace the fixed
Yes.
route bus because they have a disability and cannot ride it.
Okay.
So then the next thing that would help a consumer that lives out in the rural area
Yeah.
would be the persons with disability. That is
Okay.
another application.
So let me before we get into that, I'm going to stay with your ADA. So there's an application that's a separate application that I can again get it directly through you at the BARDA office.
At the BARDA office you can call, we can mail them out,
Oh, okay, good.
or you can go on our website. The
Okay.
applications are available on there.
And that's for somebody below 65. So if I'm over 65, I'm thrown into the other program automatically, even if I've been on something
It would
with
be
a
the senior
disability?
share ride. Once you
Okay.
turn 65, we mail out
We'll
the
work to that
the
one.
senior share ride 2 months prior to you turning
Oh,
65.
that's nice.
We-
You keep track of that?
Yes, we do.
So here we are with the ADA application for those with disabilities under the age of 65, and I can get discounted fare, but I have to, obviously, complete the application. We'll assume I've been approved, and I just have to make sure that I live in the area that BARDA already serves.
Correct.
And I missed that, and repeat the other, there was
The
another.
destination must be
Thank you.
within the area of the fixed route service, 3/4 of a mile.
So, in your other example, I might live in Reading where there is a BARDA system, but I want to go to Boyertown, so that won't work.
That won't work.
Okay, got it.
But you would qualify then possibly for the persons with disability.
Okay, so now we'll move into that one. Great. So now this is the persons with disabilities.
And that is for 18 to 64.
Okay, 18 to 64
That's a
years.
program run by PennDOT. So there would be a case, you live in Reading and you're going to Boyertown, that will help you get a discounted fare.
Okay. And that is because it's a program of PennDOT who sets that rate or the discount? Okay.
Correct. They help fund some of the
Okay.
of the cost.
Okay, all righty. And again, so we've got the application, no doubt for that. Same method, same means to do that.
Right.
We've got to be the 18 to 64. And then, is there a guesstimate of a cost that I might be thinking in my head what it would cost me?
For the PWD,
Yeah.
that would be about $3.40. That
Okay.
can go up to $7 also.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. And the time frame, again, on that one, for me to want to schedule something, is it still about the same thing that you
Yes.
said for the other one?
For all transportation, it's
Okay.
2 weeks prior or day prior.
Okay. Can you do, well, I just thought of it, and if I don't ask it now, a standing kind of?
Yes.
You know, if you've got, I don't know, somebody has a monthly something or other, or.
Somebody goes to the hairdresser every Friday.
okay.
We can set
Oh,
that
okay, you
up
can
so they
schedule
don't have
that.
to, as long as it remains the same time
Yep.
every Friday, we can set that up.
Okay.
The only time they have to call is to cancel it then, which is, they don't have to sit on the phone and call every week and forget, oh, did I call or did I not call?
Exactly.
That way
And
it's
call you
automatically
3 times,
scheduled. Right.
Or forget
It's
because.
it's already on the schedule.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can automatically
And it helps us
schedule
too
that.
because it eliminates phone calls, decreases the calls.
Sure.
So we
But
do
you have a large
encourage that.
volume, I'm sure, of having
Yes,
to
we
remember
do.
who goes where and
Yes.
at what time. So that is the Persons with Disabilities program. That would be for adults 18 to 64 years of age. So some funding through PennDOT, part of their program, their discounted fares, same applications, and again, scheduling ahead of time. What, did I miss anything else as I'm recapping
Not
that?
with those programs, I think you got.
And then we have another program, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that one is
The Medical Assistance Transportation Program.
the Medical Assistance Transportation Program.
And that's another application.
Of course.
That is
All good things have applications.
yeah, that is a funding source to help consumers who receive medical assistance to receive free transportation to go to medical providers.
Okay.
And that is any age. Now with that, if they reside near a bus route and going within a bus route, we issue a 20-trip ticket for them to ride the bus free to go to medical providers. They have to get doctor's excuses proving that that's where they went. If they have access to a vehicle, we can give 12 cents a mile for mileage reimbursement.
Oh, wow.
If they're disabled or do not live near a bus route, then they get the share ride service to go back and forth. They also receive service for out-of-county trips
Oh, okay.
to medical providers that are,
We have a couple, I know that there are a lot of folks on some of the borders of our county with some of the
Right.
other counties that I do know that some of the medical providers
Right.
are in the other county.
you have Douglasville, you have Pottstown.
Yes,
So
yeah,
medical
okay.
assistance will cover that trip, that cost of that trip.
And I'm going to clarify again, it's just for medical provider, it's just to go to medical providers.
Correct.
Okay.
Approved medical providers.
Okay.
And that would be for any age.
And when you say approved, do I have to give you then in advance? How I can't call up and just say it's for Dr. Jones. I mean,
We have,
You have
under the guidelines with the medical assistance program, we actually have to contact the physician or the facility to see if they accept
verify.
medical
Okay.
assistance.
Okay.
And then, we can provide the transportation.
okay. No age, and any age falls into that as long as they're on
Correct.
medical assistance. Okay, and they can be going to their provider for free with an application, and then other options might be better for them. So it sounds like in all of these cases, they need to talk to somebody.
Right, they have,
at
for medical
BARDA.
assistance, they
Okay.
have to call into the office because it's sort of like a screen. Do you have a car? Or where do you live? And then, this is what we have to offer you.
Okay, that's great. I mean, there's a lot of services. That's why I was like, okay, we want to make sure, because I think also it's good for people just to call and say, I need to go here, or I'm looking at that. Do I
Right.
qualify for any particular programs, and how? Okay.
Because we do refer them to the website, but it can get confusing because there's all different things there. So it is anytime they want to call into the office that we're there to help.
Did we miss something in terms of the trip? We talked about trip purposes, kind of calling ahead. I'm assuming also for that MATP program, it's again, as much possible time that you have, when those medical
Right.
trips are usually scheduled, so you should
Now,
have
for
no
the
problem
out-of-county
when you-
trips, we do
that's right,
require
out-of-county.
2 working days' notice,
Okay.
because we have to schedule those in advance. Now, with going out of the county, one good thing we started new, and that includes seniors, that includes anyone, can travel 10 miles outside of the county. So we can provide transportation now to the
That's
Lebanon
nice.
VA. We
Oh,
can provide
okay.
transportation, like if a senior lives in Douglasville and does not have medical assistance and wants to go to Pottstown, to a doctor there, or to a church there, during the week or something. So
Yeah.
we were approved to go 10 miles outside of the county borders by PennDOT.
Wow, that's great.
So-
Because that is a concern for some folks, particularly in the borders like that.
Especially the VA in Lebanon. We get a lot of
Yeah.
requests for that.
And should I assume that most of these trips are approved for daytime? Or are there any evening or weekend?
With ADA and a senior, anybody who is being picked up, their origin is within 3/4 of a mile of a bus route, and the destination, they get service from 5:30 till 10:30 at night, if there's
Wow.
within those bus routes.
Wow, that's great.
So that's,
Okay.
I always say, call the office, they'll explain it. It's a little,
Yes. Well, we have a couple of minutes. Is there something that you want that I missed, that we should hit upon, or? So the door-to-door service are those things. That's
well, the
kind of under
door-to-door
that
service,
umbrella.
right, one thing is important, we are a door-to-door service, but it's a main door. If you live in a high-rise, the driver is not gonna go up to the 3rd floor
Right,
apartment.
and knock on your door.
You're at the hospital
Okay.
waiting, they cannot come up to the 3rd floor of the doctor's office building. So it's very important that they're down at the main entrance, they're watching for the driver. When the trip is scheduled, the staff will tell them approximately, that if it's a 9 o'clock appointment,
Right.
they'll ask that you be ready at 8 a.m.
Okay.
So starting at 8 a.m.,
You should be down and waiting.
and watching, for
Okay.
the driver.
Sure.
So it's important that people are ready to go.
Okay, sure. You don't want to hold up and you've got an appointment to get to. All righty, we have about 1 minute yet. That we've gone really through a lot of programs and services between the regular bus route, the fixed bus route information, as well as these special programs for a variety of individuals. In this time, is there something you want us to know in general? And also, would you please remind us one more time of how to reach you at BARDA by phone or the website again?
The website is www.bardabus.com, and the phone number for Share Right is 610-921-2361. Fixed route, it's 610-921-0601.
Okay. And anything else other than give a call and check the website so that you can see these different services and find out the review these and call so that you can begin to take advantage of the service that's provided and be able to continue your daily routines or for those special appointments.
Yes.
Anything else?
No,
We got it
think
all.
we got it all.
Great. Well, again, Vicki, thank you for
No,
being
thank
here. I know
you.
that I know for some people, when they talk terminology again, it can be very confusing. So thanks for clarifying all those services through BARDA, and thank you for being with us tonight
Thank
to
you.
do so. And thank you for tuning in to Aging Matters.
Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.